You've probably eaten this so-called heart-healthy food today, and you're not alone. Millions of people start their mornings with products like breakfast cereals, flavored yogurts, granola bars, and packaged oats, all believing they're doing something great for their heart. After all, these foods are marketed as healthy, packed with claims like low-fat, whole grain, and heart-healthy. It's no wonder we trust them to fuel us in the best way possible. But what if I told you that the very food you're eating with the hope of protecting your heart could be doing the exact opposite, slowly pushing your body towards inflammation, blood sugar spikes, and long-term cardiovascular stress? These so-called healthy choices have been carefully packaged and labeled to appeal to our desire to make the right decisions for our well-being. But what if the very food you've been conditioned to believe is heart healthy is actually putting unnecessary strain on your body over time? The truth is, many processed foods, especially those marketed as beneficial for your heart, are having an adverse effect on your metabolism, often leading to more harm than good when consumed on a regular basis. You see, the problem isn't necessarily about a single ingredient in these foods. The concern raised by many health researchers and cardiology educators revolves around the effect these highly processed foods have on the body's metabolism when consumed frequently. Foods that contain refined carbohydrates and added sugars, which are often hidden in these heart-healthy options, can cause rapid increases in blood glucose levels. And when the body experiences a sudden surge in blood sugar, it releases insulin, a hormone responsible for helping glucose move from the bloodstream into the cells for energy. While this process is natural and necessary, repeated and frequent spikes in blood sugar can place a lot of stress on your metabolism over time. Experts from leading health organizations such as Harvard Health Publishing and the National Institutes of Health, NIH, have warned about the long-term impact of consuming these foods. The stress placed on your metabolism by consistently high blood sugar fluctuations may contribute to systemic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, both of which are strongly associated with cardiovascular risk factors. Think about it. Many of the breakfast cereals that appear healthy, especially those boasting high fiber and whole grains, may actually be hiding significant amounts of added sugar or refined grains. These ingredients, while marketed as healthy, digest quickly in the body, leading to a rapid spike in blood sugar. But here's the catch. This spike is followed by a sharp drop in blood sugar, often leaving you feeling hungry again much sooner than you'd expect. This rapid cycle of blood sugar highs and lows is exactly what researchers are talking about when they warn against the hidden dangers of many foods that claim to be heart healthy. And it's not just the cereals. Flavored yogurts, granola bars, and even some oat products are often loaded with sugars and starches, which could be doing far more damage than we realize. The Mayo Clinic and other health experts have pointed out that these constant blood sugar fluctuations can cause energy imbalance, disrupt hunger hormones, and even lead to weight gain over time, ultimately putting extra strain on your metabolic system and heart health. But wait, there's more to this story. Many of these foods, touted as healthy options, are not just packed with sugar. They're also ultra-processed. The process of refining and processing foods strips them of the fiber and nutrients that help slow down digestion and regulate blood sugar. Without these essential elements, your body is left with a rapid sugar rush followed by a quick crash, further complicating your energy regulation. Let's also address another major issue. When you eat these foods, you're not just consuming sugar and refined carbs, you're also likely getting a heavy dose of inflammation. Inflammation, while a natural response to injury or infection, becomes a problem when it's chronic or low grade. Chronic inflammation, as many health experts point out, can directly affect how blood vessels function, leading to problems like plaque buildup in arteries, which can increase the risk of heart disease. Now, this isn't just about one food item here or there. The key concern is that many of these ultra-processed foods sold to us as healthy options are consumed regularly, causing ongoing metabolic stress. The long-term effects of this can manifest as chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and weight gain, all of which are critical contributors to heart disease and other cardiovascular issues. If you thought cholesterol was the only thing to blame for heart disease, think again. Recent studies are shifting the focus away from cholesterol alone and toward the bigger picture. Heart health isn't just about avoiding fat or cholesterol. It's about the combination of factors that affect your metabolism, inflammation, and overall metabolic health. So, if you're only focusing on lowering your cholesterol while still consuming ultra-processed foods, you might be missing out on a more comprehensive approach to cardiovascular health. But don't be discouraged, there's hope. If we begin to change how we view our food and our eating habits, we can protect our hearts much more effectively. And it all starts with understanding the real impact of these foods on our body's metabolism. This doesn't mean you have to avoid every single processed food. It means making informed decisions, choosing whole foods, and adopting a balanced lifestyle that benefits your heart in the long run. In this video, I'll explain why these healthy foods may not be as good for your heart as you think, and how to make better choices that support long-term cardiovascular health. So, stick around because what you learn today could change the way you view your daily meals forever. So, what exactly is going wrong when we consume foods that are packed with refined carbohydrates and added sugars? You might be surprised to know that many of the foods marketed as heart healthy are filled with these ingredients, which can have a profound effect on your metabolism. Let's break it down. Refined carbohydrates are processed in a way that removes most of their natural fiber and nutrients. These include foods like white bread, certain cereals, pasta, and granola bars. When you eat these types of food, your body quickly converts them into glucose, essentially sugar, because they lack the fiber needed to slow down digestion. The problem is that this rapid conversion causes a sharp increase in your blood sugar levels, triggering a strong insulin response. Insulin is essential for maintaining normal blood sugar levels, but it can only do so much when blood sugar spikes happen regularly. The body's response to frequent blood sugar fluctuations is more than just feeling tired after eating or craving more sugar shortly afterward. Over time, these spikes and crashes can lead to what's called insulin resistance, a condition where your body's cells become less responsive to insulin. When this happens, the pancreas has to work overtime to produce more insulin, which can lead to higher insulin levels in the blood. This, in turn, can encourage the storage of fat, especially around your abdomen. But that's not all. Repeated insulin spikes can also contribute to metabolic stress. When your body is constantly responding to elevated blood sugar levels, it disrupts the delicate balance needed for optimal metabolism. You may experience things like weight gain, fatigue, or even high blood pressure, all of which are risk factors for cardiovascular disease. In addition, consuming a lot of added sugars found in foods such as flavored yogurt, granola bars, and some breakfast cereals can lead to chronic low-grade inflammation. This inflammation isn't just a temporary issue. It can linger in the body, contributing to the development of plaque in your arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. Over time, this plaque can restrict blood flow and increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. Inflammation may also affect your vascular health in other ways. The inner lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium, functions like a protective barrier that keeps blood flowing smoothly. However, when inflammation takes hold, this lining becomes damaged, making it easier for cholesterol particles to lodge in the artery walls. This creates an environment ripe for plaque buildup and increases the likelihood of developing cardiovascular problems. We're not talking about one sugary meal here and there. It's about the cumulative effect of consuming these foods on a regular basis. The more often you consume them, the more strain you put on your metabolism and your heart health. While it may seem harmless to grab a quick breakfast cereal or a flavored yogurt, the long-term consequences can be quite significant. But there's good news. The solution to breaking this cycle isn't to completely avoid carbs or sugar altogether. It's about making smarter food choices. By switching to whole grains, opting for natural sugars, and choosing foods with fiber, you can help stabilize your blood sugar levels and reduce the inflammatory effects caused by ultra-processed foods. More on that in a moment. Let's dive deeper into why whole foods are so much better for your heart than their ultra-processed counterparts. Whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts are packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals that not only help regulate blood sugar but also promote overall health. These foods slow down digestion, ensuring that glucose is absorbed more gradually into the bloodstream. The key player here is fiber. Fiber is incredibly important because it helps slow the absorption of glucose. This prevents the rapid blood sugar spikes we talked about earlier. It also helps regulate energy levels throughout the day. For example, When you eat a meal that's rich in fiber, say a bowl of oatmeal made with whole oats, or a salad with leafy greens and beans, your body processes the food slowly and steadily. This means you're less likely to experience a sugar crash and less likely to feel hungry shortly after eating. In contrast, ultra-processed foods are often stripped of their fiber and nutrients during processing. Take, for example, many granola bars or packaged oat products. While they may seem healthy, they often contain refined grains and added sugars that can throw your blood sugar off balance. These foods digest quickly, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar followed by a sudden drop. This not only affects your energy but also triggers the release of more insulin, perpetuating the cycle of insulin resistance, metabolic strain, and potential weight gain. Even foods that are marketed as whole grain can be problematic if they've been ultra-processed. For example, while whole grain bread may sound healthy, many store-bought versions contain refined flours and added sugars that cancel out the benefits of the whole grains. The same goes for some cereals labeled heart healthy. If you read the ingredients, you'll likely find that they contain added sugars and processed grains, undermining their potential heart health benefits. The reason whole foods are so much better for you is that they come in their natural form, packed with all the nutrients and fiber your body needs. When you consume whole grains, for example, your body gets the full nutritional profile, including the fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. These nutrients work together to support metabolic stability and reduce inflammation. Plus, fiber plays an essential role in regulating digestion and supporting gut health, which has a ripple effect on your overall well-being. But it's not just about fiber. Whole foods provide a balance of complex carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats. These nutrients help your body digest food more slowly, providing steady energy throughout the day and helping to maintain stable blood sugar levels. By choosing meals that contain a combination of these nutrients, like a vegetable stir-fry with quinoa and chicken, or a hearty salad with avocado, nuts, and chickpeas, you can help your body maintain balanced blood sugar levels and avoid those blood sugar crashes that are so common with ultra-processed foods. It's also worth noting that when you consume a diet rich in whole foods, you're not just benefiting your heart, you're supporting your overall health, too. Whole foods are naturally high in antioxidants, which help protect your cells from oxidative stress, and they contain bioactive compounds that support various metabolic processes. These foods are more nutrient-dense than their processed counterparts, providing your body with the fuel it needs to function at its best. So, the next time you're choosing between a quick, processed snack or a whole food-based meal, remember that your heart will thank you for choosing the latter. Whole foods provide more than just energy. They offer long-term benefits for your cardiovascular system, metabolic health, and overall well-being. For decades, we've been told that cholesterol is the main villain when it comes to heart disease. The idea was simple: cut back on fats, particularly saturated fats, and your cholesterol levels will drop, reducing your risk for heart attacks. But here's the twist. Modern research is showing us that cholesterol is not as simple as we once thought, and there's more to heart health than just focusing on fat intake. Cholesterol is, in fact, a crucial component of our body's function. It's a waxy, fat-like substance that's necessary for building cell membranes, producing hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and even helping us make vitamin D. Your liver produces most of the cholesterol you need, and the rest comes from the food you eat. The two main types of cholesterol that often get discussed are low-density lipoprotein, LDL, and high-density lipoprotein, HDL. LDL is often referred to as bad cholesterol because high levels of certain types can contribute to plaque buildup in the arteries. HDL, on the other hand, is called good cholesterol because it helps remove excess cholesterol from the bloodstream. But here's where the story gets complicated. Experts now understand that cholesterol itself is not inherently harmful. It's the conditions under which it accumulates that matter. A major factor influencing this process is inflammation. When the inner lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium, becomes damaged due to chronic inflammation, cholesterol particles, especially LDL, can begin to accumulate in the artery walls. Over time, this buildup creates plaque, narrowing and hardening the arteries in a process called atherosclerosis. This process can happen silently for years, and often we don't see the effects until it's too late. The more inflammation and oxidative stress you experience, the more vulnerable your arteries become to plaque buildup. This is why health experts now suggest that focusing solely on cholesterol levels might not be enough. The broader picture is what matters. How is your metabolism functioning? How much inflammation is in your body? Are you managing your blood pressure and blood sugar effectively? Metabolic health plays a huge role in how cholesterol behaves in your body. Insulin resistance, for example, can increase your risk for atherosclerosis by triggering a cascade of metabolic disturbances. When you experience frequent spikes in blood sugar and insulin, you increase oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which can damage your blood vessels and lead to cardiovascular problems. Furthermore, certain diets high in refined carbohydrates, added sugars, and unhealthy fats can change the size and density of LDL particles, making them smaller and denser. Smaller LDL particles are more likely to penetrate artery walls, further increasing your risk. This new understanding of cholesterol and metabolism is why it's important to adopt a more holistic approach to heart health. Rather than focusing solely on cutting cholesterol or avoiding saturated fat, it's essential to improve your overall metabolic health. And that starts with the food you eat, your physical activity levels, and managing your stress. By reducing inflammation, stabilizing blood sugar, and maintaining a healthy weight, you can improve your metabolic health and, in turn, reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. Now that we've tackled cholesterol and inflammation, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your heart: fiber. This often overlooked nutrient plays a central role in stabilizing blood sugar levels, improving digestive health, and reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease. When you eat foods that are rich in fiber, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts, your body is able to process food more slowly. Fiber helps regulate how glucose enters your bloodstream, preventing the rapid spikes in blood sugar that we've been discussing. It does this by slowing digestion, allowing glucose to be absorbed more gradually. As a result, you experience more stable energy levels throughout the day, and you're less likely to have hunger pangs or cravings shortly after eating. But fiber doesn't just help with blood sugar, it's also crucial for managing cholesterol levels. Soluble fiber, in particular, binds to cholesterol in the digestive tract and helps remove it from the body. This process lowers overall cholesterol levels and helps maintain a healthier balance between LDL, bad, and HDL, good cholesterol. In fact, studies have shown that individuals who consume higher amounts of fiber are at a lower risk of developing heart disease. Whole foods are naturally rich in fiber, but they also contain many other nutrients that support metabolic stability. Vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants in fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds work together to combat oxidative stress, support healthy immune function, and reduce inflammation. For instance, foods like leafy greens, berries, and seeds are packed with antioxidants, which help protect your cells from damage and reduce the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease. The key here is balance. By consuming meals that include a combination of fiber, healthy fats, and lean protein, you create a nutrient-dense diet that supports your metabolic health. For example, a meal of grilled salmon with roasted vegetables and quinoa provides a mix of healthy fats from the salmon, fiber from the vegetables and quinoa, and protein, which helps stabilize blood sugar and promote heart health. In contrast, ultra-processed foods often lack this nutrient balance. They may be high in refined sugars and unhealthy fats while missing the critical fiber and micronutrients needed for optimal health. So, while it may be tempting to grab a quick granola bar or packaged cereal for breakfast, consider how those choices stack up against a nutrient-rich whole food meal. When it comes to heart health, it's important to remember that diet alone isn't the whole story. Cardiovascular disease doesn't develop overnight, and it's influenced by a variety of factors, including your overall lifestyle. While eating a heart-healthy diet is a huge part of the equation, it's equally important to focus on physical activity, stress management, and sleep quality. Let's start with physical activity. Regular exercise is one of the best ways to support your heart. Physical activity helps regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation. It also helps lower blood pressure and strengthen the heart muscle. Even moderate activities like walking, cycling, or swimming can have a profound impact on cardiovascular health. In fact, the American Heart Association recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week to maintain a healthy heart. Stress is another major factor that affects your cardiovascular health. Chronic stress can elevate levels of cortisol, a hormone that, when produced in excess, can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease. Managing stress through relaxation techniques, mindfulness, and activities that promote well-being such as yoga or meditation can help reduce these harmful effects. Additionally, making time for hobbies, social connection, and self-care is vital for long-term heart health. Finally, don't underestimate the importance of sleep. Sleep is often the missing piece of the heart health puzzle. Poor sleep quality can affect metabolic health, increase inflammation, and disrupt hormones that regulate appetite and stress. Ensuring that you get 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep each night is essential for keeping your heart in top shape. Prioritize sleep hygiene by keeping a consistent sleep schedule, creating a relaxing bedtime routine, and limiting screen time before bed. The most important lesson here is that heart health is not about finding a single superfood or cutting out a specific nutrient. It's about building a lifestyle that supports your cardiovascular system from all angles. By eating nutrient-dense whole foods, staying active, managing stress, and getting quality sleep, you create a foundation for heart health that will last a lifetime. So, take a step back, evaluate your daily habits, and ask yourself, are you making choices that support your heart and overall well-being? If not, it's never too late to start. Small changes in your diet, exercise routine, and lifestyle can have a huge impact on your heart health in the long run.